Are you hearing me?
Yeah,
Okay, so my screen share is not allowed. I think
share your screen, sir.
yeah, I'm scared sharing. Yeah, just a minute. Yeah, it comes. Yeah. Is it visible?
Yes,
No,
sir.
no.
Sharing now, sharing, sir. Now screen is sharing.
Already said?
Yes, sharing process is going.
Okay.
It says that you have started screen sharing, but it is not showing.
Yes.
But already I did it. I don't
No,
know.
no, no. Hold
Yes,
on,
sir.
hold
Very
on.
good
Screen
evening.
share is paused.
One
Okay.
second,
Ranbir sir,
one
there may
second.
be some technical issues, sir. You can stop sharing the screen and again you can share the screen.
Okay. Screen
Yes,
sharing
now you
has
can
a.
share your screen again, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Now it is completely visible.
Visible.
Yeah, it's visible. Your screen is visible, sir.
Okay, just a minute. Let me do one more thing.
So good evening, everyone. Welcoming you all for the fourth day of this International Research Methodology Workshop on proposal writing for the funded projects. And it is my duty and responsibility to welcome all of you. Let me welcome Professor Sanjay Tiwari, sir, to give a note about today's session.
Good evening,
Now,
everybody. Yes, your screen is okay. Perfect. Dr. Akshay, your screen is okay now.
okay, thank you, sir. It's good evening to each and everybody, and my pleasure to be here.
So at the outset, let me welcome you all to this fourth day of the research methodology workshop. And I do not know all of you were there when I was in the inauguration session, but an opening note for those who were not present on the first day or may have joined a bit late, you can say, So, ladies and gentlemen, this is our, you can say, third research methodology workshop. First was in July. That was for a 5-day workshop, 5-day period. Then in September, it was a 10-day. Tried to explain something as far as SPSS is concerned. And this time we thought of bringing something to the desk as far as this project writing is concerned. So for the past 3 days, we have been talking about literature reviews. We are talking about the research objectives and the methodologies and all these things now. And today we have Dr. Akshay Mohanty with us. Dr. Akshay is the Associate Professor of Economics, and he is rightly now today he's placed at the Mizoram University. So he will be uh, enlightening us with his views as what happens to be the appropriate methodology. Now we have researchers are in a, you can say, in a fix that whether they should go for something quantitative or qualitative, or it should be a mixed methods, or what it should be. And there has always been a debate as far as the use of the methodology is concerned. Those who try to bank upon the quantitative methodologies try to say that the qualitative aspect lacks over here, and those who bank upon the qualitative, they try to bank upon the qualitative and say that no, it lacks over here. So now what we'll do today is that we'll try to have a look at what Dr. Mohanty has to say as far as the qualitative and quantitative issues are concerned, and what is the mixed methods. But for me, no single methodology should be criticized. Each and every methodology, whether it is a quantitative or a qualitative, has its own merits and demerits, and naturally everything has its own merits and demerits. So I just now find that we are 135 who have joined, and I would request all of you, if in case your friends are also over there, so please try to stick to the time schedule, And in between, what I find is that some of us leave the group in between, and they try to enter into the Zoom room by say 7:45, 7:50, so that that ethically it is not correct. You must try to listen what we are trying to present, and what we are. You have paid your money over here. You will get a certificate of also over here, but without attaining any knowledge, without coming into discussions, without putting up questions to our research persons, it's of no use. So thank you again very much for your patient listening for the past 3 days. This is the fourth day. We will be looking forward to a very fruitful session of today. Thank you very much. Dr. Akshay, I suppose the floor is now yours. Please carry. Thank you.
Thank you
Yes,
very
thank you
much.
so much, sir. Thank you so much, Dr. Sanjay Tiwari, sir, for welcoming the guest as well as giving the brief note for the day 4. And let me invite Professor Dr. Shanti Devi to introduce the chief guest for the forum. She is Honorary Secretary of this event, and she is from Associate Professor from Bharati College, Tamil Nadu.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Good evening to all. It's my great pleasure to welcome you all here today for the 7 days online international research methodology workshop on proposal writing for projects. Sir, we are organized by, there are 4 organizations combined together, organized by this event. Sociology of Sports, Indian Sociological Society, New Delhi, Department of Sociology, St. George's College, Puttur, Kanyakumari, Department of Geography, Bhadhi Women's College, Chennai, Department of Sociology, MOP, Vaishnava College of Women, Chennai. I am Dr. R. Shanti Devi, Associate Professor of Geography. I express our heartfelt gratitude for your presence at this special event. Your participation is invaluable, and it highlights the collaborative spirit that drives us forward. Sir, I would like to extend a special welcome to our distinguished guest, Dr. Akshay Kumar Mohanty. A few words about Sir. Sir has completed his MA in 1997 in Berhampur University. Sir has completed MPhil in Berhampur University in 2000. He completed a PhD 2004 Utkal University. Sir has worked as a faculty of economics with various capacities in various academic institutions in Odisha state since March 2002 up to September 2014. He worked as an associate professor of applied economics in Ethiopian government university under Ministry of Education, Ethiopia from September 2014 up to November 2022. Now, he is working as associate professor of economics in Mizoram University under Ministry of Education, Government of India from November 2002 till the date. Sir has experienced various administrative positions across the globe, participation in academic and administrative committees, Board of Studies, SEMS, Mizoram University, Department of Research Committee, Department of Economics, Mizoram University. Sir is having few membership, lifetime membership of WEA, lifetime membership of Ethiopian Economic Association, and lifetime membership of Odisha Economic Association, annual membership of AIB, IIM, Indore for the year of 2018-19. Sir has completed the research and teaching experience. The research experience is 24 years since 1999. Teaching experience in UG and PG almost 21 years. The total number of publications, books are 7, book chapters are 1, research papers are 32. Sir is having a research projects, international projects, has completed determinants of self-employment of an elderly disabled persons and working age orphans in income generating activities in East Virginia zone, the case of Nekeme town. And also Sir is having a patents. The title of patents, IoT enabled smart healthcare infrastructure with AI based predictive analytics. That is in August 23, Indian Patent Office. SAG has made significant contributions, many notable achievements, projects, and initiatives in his own field. Sir, your commitment and support have been instrumental in making this event possible, and we are honored to have you with us. As we embark on today's journey, I encourage you engage activity, share your insights, and connect with one another. I am confident that you will find inspiration and knowledge that will resonate long after this event concludes. Let us make the most of our time together, fostering an environment of learning and collaboration. I am looking forward to a day filled with meaningful discussions, new ideas, and lasting connections. Once again, thank you for being here. Let me make this event a memorable one. Welcome you, sir. Dr. Akshay Kumar Makanti, sir, once again, welcome you.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for such notable introductions, and also thanks to Professor Sanjay Tiwari to allow me to enter into this room to deliver such interesting topic in which I have the expertise over the last many years, and also I'm working on this. And I want to tell one thing here. The topic itself tells many things. Choosing the right methodology, quantitative, qualitative, and mixed methods. And right now, the time has come to see that whether we have to go for the quantitative or qualitative or the mix of it. And beyond that, also another method is there, that is action method, which is not included. Also, I will highlight on this here if time permits me. So here, most of the researchers nowadays, they are focusing upon the mixed. Already, Professor Sanjay Tiwari told that each and every method has its own merits and demerits. There is no doubt about it. But nowadays, the world is full of complexion and complex. So for that reason, only quantitative or only qualitative method will not suffice to analyze our day-to-day research. For that reason, we have to go for some sort of mixed and also the action research. So for that reason, first of all, I will make you a warm-up session for 5 minutes so that we can enter into the main theme. And the title is Choosing the Right Methodology. So whether we will choose the quantitative or qualitative or mixed or action, before going to discuss that part, let me warm up you all. So before warming up, let me show my today's deliberations, in what light and in what points I have to focus. So my total presentation will be highlighted on 5 wives and 1 husband concept. It is very interesting tagline. I have made it. 5 wives and 1 husband. That means, how it is possible. It is not possible right now, but in some cases it is possible. But practically, 1 husband and 5 wives is needed in today's discussions. So for that reason, we have chosen 5 wives. That means the wives stands starts from W. And now you see this W is 5W. Why, how, when, where, which, and what to choose, quantitative or qualitative or mixed or action. So these are the 5 whys. And along with that, the measure, that means one is a husband, that husband is a how. How to choose quantitative, how to choose qualitative, how to choose mix, how to choose action. So today's deliberation will be focusing on this tagline, 5 wives and 1 husband concept. And for that reason, I have pointed out some points through which we will go through. The first one will be on the schools of thoughts from which quantitative and qualitative to be followed. Then research process steps from which the quantitative or qualitative to be followed or mixed to be followed. The next one would be aspects of research methods and criteria or features. So these are the main segments through which we can find out the different methods, which method you want. So let us say if you are from the economics background or some sort of science background, so you cannot go for the qualitative. That means you have to go for the quantitative. Let's say if you come from the humanities department or humanities sector, then you have to go for the qualitative. So I will discuss one by one. Then if this type of dilemma will come, in the third point, I will give you the solution. I will discuss on that. Solution is what? And that solution, is it maybe triangulation? So if it is triangulation, in what way we will do that? Then what we'll cover in the MMR, that means when we go for the triangulation concept, then we will come to the mixed method research program. So in that mixed method research program, these will be the main points. So what is mixed method research? That we will discuss. Types of mixed method strategies and its visual methods. So how it will be visualized, that we will see. And what are the different, that means mixed method research, how it will come. That means what are the different steps to make the mixed method research through the review of literature, through the theory used, through the procedures for choosing a mixed method strategy, data collection procedure, mixed method sampling process. And finally, we'll go for the report presentation structure of that mixed method. Because once we will come to the mixed method research or mixed approach, then definitely we will use the both quantitative and qualitative. And to elaborate this mixed method research, so I have planned some sort of things. First up, we'll go for the some brief history of that, how the mixed method research has come up and why it is used and why would we use the mixed method or justification of MMR or reasons for mixing, because different books are putting in the different notations. So I have covered all the things in one platform. So, or it may be can be called as the typical situation in which mixed methods is used or what mixed method is not. So in which case it cannot be done. Then in the sixth point, we can go for the what is mixed method approach or what is the stricter definition of mixed method, that we'll also discuss. And in the seventh point, several stances of philosophy in mixed methods or pragmatism. Is it pragmatism are used in the mixed method, that we will see and that we will analyze, and how methods can be mixed, that we will be seeing, and aspects to consider the planning mixed methods procedure or criteria for choosing the mixed methods. Then we'll go for the planning mixed methods procedures, choosing mixed method, project expected outcome type and designs, designing a mixed method study, how it is possible, and its visual notation and strategies of MR. Then we'll go for the purpose statement. What would be the purpose statement and what is its guideline for specifically designing the MMR concept, and the proposal framing, how we will make the proposal, because whenever you start some sort of project, before that you have to make some sort of a proposal. So the proposal for quantitative research, proposal for qualitative research, and proposal for mixed are completely different. So specifically here we will analyze the proposal framing for the MMR concept and the research process steps from which here we will summarize that how the quantitative, qualitative and mixed methods research process, it will come from the research process steps. Then we will discuss what are the pros and cons, what is the strength and weaknesses of the MMR. And finally, we will conclude. So what will be the conclusion? That will be the hidden agenda, and at the end, I will disclose it. So these are my lecture plans for today, deliberations. So now we will come up for some sort of a warm up, because if immediately I will go to the analysis and the interpretations, you will be getting bored. So for that reason, before that, I have to warm up you off. So first of all, to take the warm up, just already you have come to know these things. Just I am refreshing your minds through this, and this is the research methodology framework. So most of the people are knowing. Just I am showing. I will not take much more time for these slides. Just I am showing that first of all, the problem genesis, how the problem will be generated. There will be formal problem, and how the research problem will come. The research problem may come from the formal or maybe the informal way. Already you know, I should not discuss more. Then after getting the problem, then you have to go for the mode. What is its mode? Whether it is inductive mode or a deductive mode. Then you have to go for the strategies, maybe opinion strategy, maybe empirical strategy, maybe archival strategy, maybe analytical strategy. Then from that strategy, we should check what are the domains from which the strategy will be taken. The domain may be individual, maybe group. For the opinion case, maybe for the empirical, it may be the case domain, or it may be field domain, it may be laboratory domain. And if it is archival case, then archival strategy, then domain will be primary, secondary, or physical. And if it is analytical, that means quantitative, then its the domain should be in internal logic. Then if it is formal technique, if it is formal, because now after getting the domain, then you have to see the techniques, which techniques we have to take, formal technique and informal technique. And under the formal technique, it may be, if it is the opinion strategy, then survey, either survey or Delphi method, you can, or technique, you can use it. And if it is informal, in with respect to the opinion, you can take the interview method or brainstorming method. And if it is empirical strategy, then the formal technique will be the observation or time and motivation study simulations. And if it is empirical with respect to the informal techniques, observation, only observation can be taken into consideration. And with respect to the archival strategy, in line with the formal technique, correct analysis and sampling and erosion and accuracy is needed. And if it is informal, there will be scannings and observations. And finally, if the strategy will be the analytic, then the formal technique will be mathematical modeling, which is mostly used in the quantitative aspects. And if it is informal, it will be philosophical. And most of the informal is not belonging to the major scientific sites. That means it may be in the humanities discipline. So then we have to see the research process. So what is the research process with respect to the mixed method research or mixed approach? So first of all, already I told you the research problem we have to find out, or research genesis we have to do. After that, we have to go for the review of literatures. Then we have to find from the review of literature, we have to find out the research questions, how it will be developed. Because in the previous sessions already you might be knowing all these things. I should not take much more time on this. Just I'm giving you some sort of warm up so that we will go ahead. Then these research questions may be in a two way. Maybe research question may come from the quantitative research, maybe from the qualitative research. So how the research questions will be designed, if it is qualitative and if it is quantitative, that we will discuss later on today. And when these two are combined, that means qualitative research questions and quantitative research questions, then we are getting some sort of research designs. Here, the research design is of three types. One is quantitative design, then qualitative design, and combined designs. And this qualitative design is covering your experiment. Quantitative design is covering your experimental design, and correlational design and the survey design. So these are the three major things, and other things I will discuss also. And in the qualitative, major things are coming to our account is grounded theory, ethnography, and narratives. And when we are combining this qualitative and quantitative, we are getting the combined design, and that is called as the mixed method. And we have skipped one thing here today in our topic, that is action research. And that I will deliver here. That means this combined is coming from these two, and this combined is of two types. One is mixed method and another one is the action research. And nowadays, the World Banks and IMFs are focusing upon the action research, that we will discuss how it is useful in the day-to-day life, that we will also discuss in the elaborate way. Then we have to come through, that means if these three methods will come up, the common things we will be finding. What the common things? Sampling we should take. Whether you choose the quantitative, whether you choose the combined design, whether you choose the qualitative design, the sampling you should need it anyway. Then after the sampling, you have to take care of the instruments. What are the instruments to be taken? What are the protocols to be made? And then after, you have to go for the data analysis for each and every designs. Then finally, you have to interpret and find out your results. And after that, your discussion, conclusion, and limitations and further research will come up. And I have extracted from the Creswell 2009. This is the source. So this is the book. If you want, you can go for that Creswell 2009. Then we have to come to the different research designs. There are three types of research designs. Already I told you that quantitative research. What is quantitative? Just I am giving some sort of a briefs. So qualitative is exploring and understanding the meaning individuals or groups ascribe to a social or human problem. That means it is completely coming from the humanities sections or sociological sections or psychological sections. So this is qualitative. And quantitative research testing objective theories by examining the relationship among the variables. Here the important thing is the relationship amongst the variable. We have to say if it is quantitative research. So accordingly, you can find out which type of research you are going to conduct, whether it is qualitative or quantitative. Based upon your parameters, you have to see whether you are going to use the qualitative and quantitative. Then when we are mixing these two, is coming as the mixed method research, an approach to inquiry that combines or associates both qualitative and quantitative forms. Here, my dear friends, you should not forget one thing, that where is the action research? So action research is there. Action research is one part of the combined research. Only one part we have discussed here. That means that mixed as per our topic. But also I will go beyond that. Then these are the three types of research designs. Already I have told, so no need to discuss further. So this is the quantitative, this is the qualitative, and this is the mixed. And in the mixed, either it may be sequential, it may be concurrent, it may be transformative. These are the three major mixed research methods we will come across. And under the qualitative, there may be narratives, there may be phenomenology studies, there may be ethnography studies, there may be grounded studies, or there may be case studies. And in the quantitative, there may be experimental designs, non-experimental designs, and survey designs. So these are some sort of hints to know the types of research designs. So now, what are the general approach we have to use? So measure the school of thoughts we have to see. That means now our warm-up session is over. So now we are focusing on the main topic. So now question comes, why I have shown you to the different schools of thoughts? Because the school of thought is playing an important role to decide which type of research design you have to use in your research. If you are unaware about the schools of thought, then you cannot do any type of research design. For that reason, the school of thought should be knowing. And this school of thoughts is divided majorly into two. One is quantitative and another one is the qualitative. Because you may be asking the question, sir, where is the mixed? So mixed is the combination of these. If we know the base is quantitative and qualitative, then we can modify to the combined, and that combined will be maybe in form of the mixed and action. So first of all, this school of thoughts, we should know it. So this school of thoughts, the quantitative research school of thought, meaningfully expressed by numbers. If it is quantitative, it should be the numbers. And if it is qualitative, the meanings and concept and definitions only you have to carry. Nothing beyond that. No numbers you will find. It is ordinary in approach, and it provides the counts and measures in the quantitative. But when you will go for the qualitative, it simply talks about the words, images, and descriptions. From that, you have to get your conclusions. So that's your thought that you have to see which type of thought you are checking. Then positivist orientation with respect to the quantitative. If it is quantitative research, definitely positivist approach you must have. That means that the theory you should take care. And if it is qualitative, it should be interpretivist or critical orientation. So these are the main school of thoughts between the qualitative and quantitative aspects. So first of all, you categorize which thought you are having before starting your research work. Then we have to go for general approaches. What are the general approaches to the research? In another way, in some of the books and some of the authors, they are interpreting in different way. So they are taking what are the approaches. Through that approach, you can check whether it will be the quantitative research or qualitative research. So I have collected different sources and I'm putting before you. So if it is approach, there are three major approaches to decide whether it will be quantitative or qualitative. So positivism approach, critical approach, and interpretive approach. So if these are the approaches, so under this approach, so what are the usual type of research? That is the major criteria we are coming across. So if it is usual type of research with respect to the positivism approach, so our methods and our research design will come from the experiment or survey or the continual analysis. And if it is critical, then it will be historical and comparative. And if it is interpretive with the usual of types of research, it may be field research or it may be interviews. And with respect to the perspectives, it will be technocratic if it is positivism, transcendent if it is critical, and transcendent also if it is interpretive. And if we'll talk about the type of logic, which is the most important thing, and if it is type of logic with respect to the positivism approach, it should be reconstructed. And if it is critical approach, then logic in practice. If it is interpretive approach, it is logic in practice also. And with respect to the path, in which direction we'll move with respect to the positivism approach and critical approach and interpretive approach, then our linear path will be following in case of the positivism approach. And if it is critical approach, then path will be non-linear or cyclical, which is the reality. Because in the reality, we cannot find the linear analysis everywhere because life is every time curvy. So for that reason, our life is full of non-linear. So this non-linear cyclical we will find just like the business cycle, and also in interpretive, we will get the non-linear cyclical approach. So this is just for your hint. I will not analyze this thing. Most of the people are knowing this research onion approach. So why I'm showing this research onion? Why? Because I want to show you these philosophies. Through that, you can come to know which research design you have to take. And here I have taken two major things, positivism and constructivism. This is another, some of the authors are putting in this way also. So in the positivism, we are having the realism concept, interpretism concept, objectivism concept, and subjectivism concept. And under the constructivism, we have the radical humanist concept, interpretive concept, operative concept, and functionalist concept, and pragmatism concept. So here, just you remember, we will discuss more on the pragmatism concept and the realism concept. So be careful. And in the later discussions, we will come to this point, this realism concept and the pragmatism concepts. And after that, now your worldview. In some of the books and some of the researchers, they are putting in the different word. They are telling determine your worldview. That means that is the philosophy. The other name of that philosophy is worldview. So what are the different worldviews? So major 4 worldviews are taken into consideration before deciding your research designs. So one is post-positivism, constructivism, and advocacy or participatory, and pragmatism. So in the post-positivism, there will be determination concept, reductionism, empirical observation and measurement, and theory verification. It is most important in form of the quantitative as well. The constructivism, understanding the concept, multiple participant meanings, social and historical constructions, and theory generations. And in case of the advocacy, a worldview or participatory worldview, and nowadays the participatory concept is going on. In most of the NGO sites, there is participatory research, we can say in that way. And here we can take care of the political views, empowerment issues oriented, collaborative research, and change oriented. And nowadays, UGC has mandated one thing, that collaborative research, and we should focus on that. And gone are the days where the people were doing some sort of a single research. Nowadays, NEP has started, new education policy has come up, and it emphasizes on the collaborative research. So we have to take care of this case as the time changes. And pragmatism case, and I should tell in an advance here, the pragmatism is the main foundation, founding stone for creating the mixed method research. So that you have to take care. I will discuss later on. Consequences of actions, problem-centered and pluralistic and real-world practice oriented. Then just major 2 worldviews are coming up after filtering all these things. These are the 2 major worldviews we are considering to make some sort of research design. And why I tell this thing? Because theory tells your theoretical perspective leads to your research design. Because our topic is research design, how to choose the research design. So before knowing the research design, if you do not know the world views and theoretical perspectives and different things, then it is very awkward to have our research design. So for that reason, the theoretical perspective is needed, and these are the 2 major theoretical perspective or world views we have to take care before choosing our research design. One is constructivism and positivism, already I told, and it is some of the narrations. Constructivism, knowledge is subjective and it's product of the context in which it's constructed. That means it is, example is Copernicus. Scientific knowledge is not a direct representation of the natural world. It's based on systems of thought that are culturally and historically bound. And if you come for the positivism, all knowledge is derived from experience, whether of the mind or of the senses, evidences by what we can see, hear, touch, taste, or smell, is the basis of scientific method, emphasizes the importance of testability, reliability, validity, and repeatability, assets that the researcher is bias-free, claims for the objectivity. So these are the major things we have to see. Then finally, after knowing our theoretical, that means theoretical perspective, now we are coming to frame our research design. So these are the alternative research designs made by the Creswell 2003. I have extracted from the Creswell 2003. This is the source. You can go through that. And what Creswell is defining in form of the research design, because this is the step, these are quantitative research and qualitative research and mixed research. And in the quantitative, already I told, and I told in the general way. Now specifically what Creswell is telling. Creswell is telling quantitative research, experimental designs, non-experimental designs such as the surveys, predetermined instrument based questions, performance data, attitude data, observational data, and census data, and statistical analysis. So if we are covering these things, then our research design comes under the quantitative research. So this, from this aspect also, you can come to know whether your research design is coming under quantitative or qualitative. So now come to the qualitative research. According to the Crayswell, study is exploratory. It is exploratory in nature. It is not explanatory in nature. And it may be the case studies, it may be ethnographies, it may be emerging methods, and it may be open-ended questions and interview data, observational data, document data, audiovisual data, text and image analysis. And if it is mixed design and mixed method research design, it elaborates and expands findings of one method with another, concurrent or converse, quantitative and qualitative, because the mix of these two is coming here. And both predetermined and emerging methods, both open-ended and close-ended, because open-ended is used for the qualitative and close-ended used for the quantitative. So both we are using here in the mixed methods, and multiple forms of data. And here the qualitative data and the quantitative data are combined here. For that is in this mixed method, and drawing on all possible statistical and text analysis, because text analysis is coming from the qualitative research and statistical analysis is coming from the quantitative research. For that reason, both statistical analysis and text analysis or visual analysis should be used under the mixed method approach. So it is as per the Crayswell 2003. So now I will talk about some sort of graphical representation. So mixed method heroes. So who are the heroes? So now in the first picture, you are finding, hi, I am pragmatism. So what is pragmatism? So this figure talks about the pragmatism concept. That means I told you, no, that is the theory which drives the research design. So that theory is pragmatism. That worldview is pragmatism. And here one person is tackling the things and it deals with the problems in a practical way. Let us say somebody is coming to beat you. So how you are tackling? So that's the pragmatism approach. That means the problems, the way the problems is solved in the practical way, that's the pragmatism approach. And that is mostly used in the mixed approach. So these are the mixed approach and mixed method heroes with respect to the figurative presentations. Now in the second figure, well, hello, I am critical realism. So it is realism concept and it deals with real, actual and empirical. That means three concepts are here. It is not the pragmatism approach, it is critical realism approach. So which theory you are using, whether you are using pragmatism approach or whether you are using the critical realism approach, that you have to take care. And if it is a critical realism approach, it must deal with the actual what you have seen, empirical what you have seen, and really what you have seen. In these three, you have to distinguish, then you have to come to the critical realism. And under the critical realism, there are different methods, there are different theories, ontological theories, epistemological theories, methodological theories, and axiological theories. So these theories drive the critical realism, and on which basis you can draw your research designs. So these are some sort of clarifications. So what I am displaying, what is ontology, what is epistemology, what is axiology, what is rhetoric. And in that way, you can decide your, the research design. So I should not go through that, because you know in the very preliminary stage what is the theory, what is the ontological theory, what is epistemological theory, what is axiology theory, and what is rhetoric theory. So I should skip all these things. So because you know these things, so I should not focus more time here. So now you take your pick. Now me, it is pragmatism and it is a critical realism. No, me, pick me. So now these are the conversations between these two pictures. If it is pragmatism, here me and me. And here, no me, pick me. Here it is a critical realism approach. So now you see the difference. Here he is telling I am everything. That means here it is me concept. But here he is telling no, 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 no me, pick me. isn't it? So now you see the wording differences between the pragmatism and the constructive, that means a critical realism. So in the figure, I want to tell the exact message. So now we have to come to the reality. So now already we come to know that theory we should know, that theory will drive to the research design, and research design will drive to your, here what I told, the research design will lead to your data collections. So now keeping into this mind, now we have to come to these research designs in the formal way. Hello? Excuse me. Hello. So now the procedures. So now we have to come to the research process. So the main research process. So there are 3, 4, 5, 6 research processes. Whether it is qualitative, whether it is quantitative, whether it is mixed. So you cannot avoid these 6 processes. These are the common process. And these are the common steps. First of all, identifying the research problem. And if you are identify your research problem, it may be quantitative, it may be qualitative. Similarly, if it is review of literature, it may be quantitative aspect, it may be from the qualitative aspect. Similarly, specifying of the purpose, both. That means in all the research steps, both you can get the quantitative and qualitative. And with respect to the research design, come to that research design will tell from the collection of data concept. My dear friends, just you put focus here. Now research design is starting from your collection of data process of the research process, collection of data, analysis and interpretation of data, and report and evaluations. And before these 3, only you can define whether you are getting the problem from the qualitative or quantitative. Getting my point around? From the theoretical aspects. But the real problem will come to choose the research design from the collection of data, because already I told you, theory drives research design drives collection of data. That means that collection of data is a turning point to finalize your choosing of the research design concept. So now you see, now I am showing you through this figure. Now collection of data, you may be collecting the data from the quantitative aspect, you may be from the qualitative aspect. And similarly, the analysis, quantitative, qualitative, and report also quantitative and qualitative. Now, you see, I have marked, this is quantitative, this is quantitative, this is quantitative. And quantitative from the collection of data, quantitative collection of data, quantitative analysis, quantitative report, and its evaluation. It leads to, that means qualitative report, qualitative analysis, and qualitative collection of data. It leads to the, ethnography study, grounded theory study, narrative study. Already I told you, these are under the qualitative research design. So now finally you are coming to know which type of research design you are using and where you are using. So if your data collection and analysis and report is coming from the qualitative aspect, maybe it is from ethnographic studies, maybe from the grounded theory studies, maybe from narrative studies, then definitely your research design leads to the qualitative research design. This is one aspect. Second aspect, how you will come to know that whether your design is under the quantitative. So now for the quantitative, you have to see if your data collection is in form of quantitative way, and analysis also quantitative, and report is also quantitative. If all are quantitative, then you can go for the mixed action. Interestingly, you see, it should not be directly the mixed, it should be via. So first of all, if it is quantitative, in all the three segments, data collection, analysis, and report presentation, then it may be quantitative, and quantitative will be of three types. It may be experimental if you are from the science background. Let us say if you are from natural science or biological science or some sort of biotechnology, some sort of a scientific background, then you have to use the experimental analysis. But being a social scientist, you cannot use the experimental approach because your experiment lab is not there. Your laboratory is not there. Scientific laboratory is not there. For social scientists, the laboratory is social activities. That means our society is our lab. So if it is social, then we can use the non-experimental and the correlational and survey. Also, you can go for the survey if you are not from the science background. Either you can use the survey approach or you can use the correlation approach. But if your analysis is linked with some sort of a science faculty, you may go for the experimental. Already, you know, one of our economist has got the Nobel Prize because of this experimental approach, though he is from the economics background, but he has used some sort of, medical aspect, and he designed that experimental approach. So in that case, it is quantitative. So this is all the way you are coming, and from this research process, you are coming to know which type of method or which type of design you have to use. So now in another way, if we'll go to separate one by one, let us say we will discuss from the quantitative design and its uses. And this quantitative design may be divided into two types of design. One is intervention research design and another one is the non-intervention research design. So if it is intervention research design, that means here it is, then it will be explaining whether an intervention influences an outcome for one group as opposed to another group. And if it is, then it will be experimental research. So being a social scientist, we cannot go for this. If we will attach with some sort of a scientific science faculty, then we can use this approach. And this intervention will give you some sort of control group and non-control groups. So that you can see. And in the non-intervention, there are two types of non-intervention. One is correlational research and another one is the survey research. And in the correlation research, we are supposed to show the association or the relationship variables in the predictable pattern for one group of individuals. And if it is survey research, describe the trends for the population of the people. So this is one group of people. They are dividing the quantitative research in the two subgroups. One is intervention research group and another is the non-intervention research group. Then we have to come to the qualitative design. So when we will use the qualitative, and there are three different dimensions, sub-dimensions of qualitative research design and its uses. So if it is ethnographic, it may be ethnographic, it may be grounded, it may be narrative. So already I have told this thing. I don't want to go further to use extra time. So now this is the different designs of the qualitative. So now come to the combined design. So combined, already I told you, the combined is the mixture of the quantitative and qualitative. So now here I want to add one more thing. It is action research. The combined research design is divided into two parts. One is mixed research, another is the action research. And nowadays the action research has put a good momentum. So if you try for this, it will be attractive nowadays. Mixed method, it is okay, but some sort of advancedness is in the action research. Already I told you, the World Banks, IMFs, and other big economic agencies, they are using the action research, not the mixed research or mixed method research. So it is the combination of quantitative and qualitative, already I told you. And in the action research, you see what is the deliberation, what is the expression, using quantitative and qualitative data for individuals to study problems that they face in their settings. And the major thing of the action research to find out the solution. So you can find out the solution from the base. So that is the purpose of the action research. That means problem is there, no doubt about that. So if the problem is there, how to find out the solution? If you are coming to that point, then your research is leading to the action research. Sometimes mixed research leads to the action research, not vice versa. So now I will show you some sort of a figures so that we are taking day to day, every day we are taking some sort of breakfast and some sort of evening snacks, and we are going outside for taking something, and we are chatting with our friends, and at that time period, you are asking for some sort of some fruits mix. Now you see this plate is full of different types of fruits. So now the combination of a different type of fruits is the mixed method. So why I'm telling all these things? Because it is quality is there and quantity is there. Some fruits, let us say, if you will take the example of the grape, it is qualitative, isn't it? It is qualitative, but it is if we'll see the your other fruits, let us say guava. It is not. It is just like the quantitative. So it is quantitative and qualitative because some proteins and carbohydrates. So it makes a difference for us. And if it is multi-method, so now this mixed method is also having another set. If it is placed in this way, it is mixed method. But if it is placed in the systematic way, it is multi-method. Be careful. So some of the method may be called as the mixed method, may be called as the multi-method. In the sampling, we know there is a stratified sampling. So this is some sort of stratified things. Now you see, this is one stage, this is second stage, this is third stage, this is fourth, this is fifth, this is sixth. So there is some sort of layerings and it is visible to us. So if some sort of a layer is visible to us, though it is mixed method, we cannot call it as the mixed method. We can call it as the multi-method. But interpretation is similar. But the representation is different. It is mixed and it is multi. So that I want to clear. Then come to the action research. Already I told that when do you use the action research? If your problem is solving the things, then action research. And when educators want to reflect on their own practice, let us say if you are the teacher in the class and you know the problem of your class, and nobody other than you will solve your class problem. Only you have to solve your class problem. So in that case, if you are solving your class problem, that means you are reflecting on yourself and your practices, and you are giving the solution. Then it is called as action research. When you want to address school-wide problems, so different problems are there, and if you are finding some sort of solutions for that problem, then definitely it will be leading to the action research. And when teachers want to improve their practices, let us say if you teach in the Indian context and if you teach in the European context, though the contents will be similar, your delivery will be different because you have to see the audience to whom you are addressing. And if you are addressing the PhD fellows and if you are addressing the PG fellow, so though contents are similar, your deliberations will be different. So for that reason, you have to improve your practices. So if you are following that, then it leads to the action research. And when educators want to participate in your research project, that means here in the action research, the person who is doing the research is completely involved in the research solely. And he is not away from the research. He is inside the research. He is the part of that research. But in the mixed, but in the quantitative and qualitative, he may be the part, he may not be the part. It is optional. But in the action research, the researcher must be the part of that. So that's the thing. And this action research is divided into two parts. One is a practical research, practical action research, and participatory action research. If you are participating as an agent, then it is participatory. And if it gives the practical solution to the problem, then it is practical action research. And these are the practical action research. And there are three types of action research. One is practical action research. Already I told you, as for the Mills 2000. And he is giving dialectic research. So it is very confused. Which part is associated with which one? You cannot find out. That means you have to mix each and everything. That means identifying of area of focus, data collection, analyze and interpretation of data, and develop an action plan. All the things you will be mixing, and it is dialectic in nature. You cannot be confirmed that which part you have to start first and which part you have to end last. So end may be first and first may be end, and there may be mixing. So there is one part of the action research. And second part is participatory action research. And somewhat it is called as emancipatory, means the challenges and procedures we have to, whenever we are taking some sort of challenges and its procedures, it is called as emancipatory under the participatory action research. And third type is Stringers 1999. He has proposed some action research, that is interpreting spiral. And here he has put three focus. One is think, then look, then act. You cannot reverse it. First, you have to think it. After thinking, you have to look to the matter. After that, you have to then you have to go for your act, how you have to act it. Then the key characteristics of action research, and here you will see the practical focus and self-reflective. Already I told you, this is collaboration team. In collaboration team, both student will be there, teacher will be there. I am taking care of one example in action research, that means the classroom deliberations I am taking care of. So here I have to show you that classroom education, I am taking the example how I will use my action research in that classroom teaching. So first of all, practical approach we should be having, and educator researcher's own practice. That means educator must be a researcher, that means self-reflective, and there will be collaboration team. The student will be there, teacher will be there, staff members will be there, administrator will be there, parents will be there, community stakeholders were there. So when all these will be combined, and when you are taking all the feedbacks from each and every stakeholders, then it will be leading to the action research. And it is dynamic in process, combining past, present, and future activity. So here you will find all the three ages. Past you have to take care, present you have to take care, and future you have to take care. Then your dynamic process will come out. Then plan of action, it may be formal, it may be informal, and establishing the pilot program. So before making some sort of a plan of action, you have to take care of pilot study. So if it is action research, the pilot study is very much important. If you are not conducting the pilot study, then it cannot lead to the action research, and which is very most important part in the action research. And sharing research to those who can promote the change. The last point is very important in the action research. To whom you are doing the action research, for whom you are doing the action research, that you have to judge, that you have to know it. That means if your action research is not giving a further development, and if it is not showing the light to the community, it is not a action research. That means in concluding way, I can say the action research will lead to a concluding remark to the society. That means it will show some sort of light to the society, how the society should go, how the society should prosper. If you are proposing that type of things in the conclusion from your analysis, that will lead to your action research. So these were not in the part of our today's lecture, but I have covered this thing, so you may take. So one problem is there in the action research. What problem? You know, one problem is the point of entry is one. There is no different point of entry. In qualitative and quantitative, there are different point of entry. But here in the action research, point of entry is one. Once upon a time, you will find all the things. That means identifying problem you have to identify at the same time. Data should be collected at the same time. Evaluation of existing data at the same time, and action you have to take at the same time. For example, I am telling you, let us say I am a teacher in my class. I am teaching the econometrics class in the PhD class. Recently, I have finished my econometrics class and research methodology class. So when I am teaching that research methodology, I am finding the problem. What is the problem of my students, whether they are following me or not? At the same time, I have to collect the data. How many students are catching or not catching? And at the same time, I am evaluating the existing data. Whatever data I have collected, whether I have to evaluate at the same time. I cannot defer it. And at the same time, I have to take the action. And immediately, I can change my deliberation style. Let us say if I'm telling that if I'm feeling that my expressions are not reaching to my audience, then I have to change. So you see, all the four things are taken into consideration at one point of time. And this is the most important problem in the action research. And if this type of problem you are finding in your research design, you close your eye and you justify that your research is leading to the action research. Your research is not mixed, your research is not qualitative, your research is not quantitative. But you can first tell that your research is under the action research. It may involve the quantitative and it may involve the qualitative after that. But first of all, you have to tell these things. So this is the only one problem from which you can come to know whether you are using the action research or the mixed research or qualitative research or quantitative research. Then we have to come to the taxonomy of action research, data collection technique. Specifically in the data collection, I told you the data collection and problem identification and its existence and the solution at the same time. The problem, that is the problem. And here, with respect to the data collection, in line with the action research, there are three each. There are three each. What three is? That you have to take care. One is experience, one is inquiring, one is examining. All the three things are at the same time. You have to experience at the same time. You have to inquire the things at the same time. You have to examine the thing at the same time. Three is. So if these three is are there in single point of time, then your research is under the action research design, isn't it? So these are the three E's. So that means these three E's: sharing concept and the point of single point of entry. That means point. So that is important one. So that you have to see. So these are the different things. That means if you are experiencing through the observation and the field notes, it may be participant observation, it may be active participant, it may be privileged and active observer, it may be passive observer through the experience. Because it is subjective in nature, it is not objective. And inquiry, when the researcher asks, it is objective. In informal interview, structural or formal interview, because it is mixed, it is informal and it is formal. It is mixing. And questionnaires and attitude scales and standardized tests. So here you can use both quantitative and qualitative also. And if it is examining, using and making the records, archival documents, historical documents, journals, maps, audio and video tapes, it is also text mode and it is also audio and visual modes. It is subjective, artifacts and field notes. So these are the sources from which you can get the examination and inquiring and experience. So my dear friends, you just take care one thing. If you think that your research is leading to the action research, three things you have to keep it in mind. These three E must be there, and sharing options, sharing research should be there, and common problem must be there. So if these three things are going in the same way, then definitely your research is leading to the action research. Now we will come to the point here. The different things. Criteria features both qualitative and quantitative. So just I am giving some sort of briefings here. I will not go for the details one. Now you see, the first is criteria. The criteria and features. Different authors, different books are placing in different way. But solution is similar. Solution is the same, but different way. Let us say your main approach is to listen to them. But different people are coming from different places. Now you see, the ultimate aim is to listen the today program. So the ultimate aim is the quan and qual. So in the quan and qual, there are different ways how we will use the quantitative, how we will use the qualitative. It may be the criteria aspect, it may be from the features aspect, it may be from the aspects approach. So there are 3 dimensions. The first dimension is criteria, and I have pointed out the 16 criteria. Here I will shortly discuss because time is not enough. 7 common features I have to take care, and 13 aspects I have to take care here. So these are the 3 dimensions and 3 ways through which we can come to the conclusion whether we are going for the quantitative approach or qualitative approach or the mixed approach. So now one by one. So if we'll take the case of the criteria, the first criteria is purpose. So if it is purpose is the criteria and it is the aspect. So if it is the purpose, so your purpose, let us say if you are predetermined that you have to use the quantitative first, what should be the purpose? To understand and interpret social interactions. And if it is if it is quantitative, then to test the hypothesis, look at cause and effect and make prediction. This is the purpose of making the quantitative. And if it is qualitative, to understand and interpret social interactions. Okay. And if it is a group study, if criteria is group study, what will be the research design? So now if it is group study, with respect to the, if you are predetermined that you have to go for the quantitative research, then larger and randomly selected data you have to collect. That is the group study with respect to the quantitative research design. So if you will come to the quantitative research, then smaller and not randomly selected data. So that's the group study. And next one is the variable criteria. Under the variable criteria, if you are predetermined with the quantitative approach, then specific variables you have to study. Specific variable with respect to the variable. And if it is qualitative research design, the variables should be study of the whole, not the variables. You should not use the variable here. If your qualitative research design is there, variable word you should not use. Construct you can use. The word construct you can use. The variable you cannot use because variable will be found in the quantitative, not in the qualitative. Only the study of the whole. That means population you have to take care. And if it is type of, that means if it is type of data collection. If a type of data collection and with respect to the quantitative, then it may be numbers and statistics. Both numbers and statistics you have to show if your quantitative research design you are wanting. And if it is qualitative, some words, images, and objects, only you have to collect that. And if it is form of data collection, with respect to the quantitative, it may be using the structured and validated data collection instruments. So if it is quantitative. And if it is qualitative research design with respect to the form of data collection, then you have to go for the open-ended questionnaires, interviews, participant observations, field notes, and reflections. Isn't it? So now we have to come to this data type collection. So now here in the data type collection, you have to see that data collection from the 2 aspects. Whether your data is collected from the quantitative aspect or qualitative aspect, how you come to know? So now you see, if it is quantitative, then 2 types of aspects are there, primary and secondary data. If it is primary data, with respect to the quantitative research design, you have to go for the surveys with only or almost only closed-ended questions. Closed-ended questions you have to take care with the survey. And abstraction of discrete information from records. So that you have to take care. And if it is qualitative with respect to the primary data, then key informant, Interviews you have to take, cognitive interviews, focus group discussion, observation. So these are the main primary sources to conduct the qualitative research design with respect to the data collection. And if it is secondary data collection with respect to the qualitative research design, using existing compendia of quantitative data. And if it is qualitative, gathering documents or image. Next one is the form of data collected. Form of data collected. So now in the form of data collected or type of data analysis. So now in the type of data analysis, we have to see if it is quantitative. If it is quantitative, then identify the statistical relations. That is important. And if your research is going for the qualitative with respect to the type of data analysis, then identify patterns, features, and the themes. Then you have to take care of the objectivity and the subjectivity criteria. Here in the objectivity and the subjectivity criteria, and if it is objective pattern, then definitely it is quantitative research design. And if it is subjective matter, then it leads to the qualitative research design. Then come to the role of a researcher. So what would be the role of the researcher? Already I told you in the action research, the researcher's role is very vital because researcher is included himself, isn't it? So now you will see in the quantitative and qualitative, what will be the role of the researchers? Now you see, if it is quantitative, researcher and their biases are not known to the participants in the study, and participant characteristics are deliberately hidden from the researchers. That means double blind studies. And if it is qualitative research design with the role of the researcher, then the researcher and their biases may be known because he is involved in that group. So if he is committing some sort of a mistake, other people can catch it. So that's the role of the researcher. And in the qualitative research design, the researcher role, whatever he is doing, it is visible to each and everybody in that group. But in the quantitative, it is not visible because he is hidden. He is playing all the games behind the scene, just like the playback singer. Amitabh Bachchan is singing. We are thinking, oh, Amitabh Bachchan is singing in the movie, but actually he is not singing. Behind that, Kishore Kumar is singing. So that's the thing of the role of the researcher in the quantitative and qualitative. So from that, you can decide whether it is coming under the qualitative research design or quantitative research design. Then you come to the results part. In the results part, you see, if it is quantitative, it is generalizable findings that can be applied to other populations. That means it is representative to other community and it is generalizable. But if it is qualitative, particular or specialized findings, that is less generalizable. Because if your qualitative research design will be there, whatever conclusion you will draw, whatever inferences you will draw, it will not be generalizable. It will not be applicable for rest of the societies. But if it is quantitative, whatever conclusion you have drawn, it will be generalizable and it will be applicable to the rest of the society. So from that, you can distinguish which research design you are under which research design. Then next one is the scientific method. Under the scientific method, if your research design is supposed to be in the quantitative research design, then it should be confirmatory or top down. That means from the top to down, not from the down to top. The researcher tests the hypothesis and theory of the data. That means here the hypothesis will be there. Testing of a hypothesis must be there if it is quantitative research design. But in the qualitative research design, with respect to the scientific study, it is exploratory or bottom to up, just reverse, bottom to up. That means micro to macro. But in the quantitative, macro to macro. That means top to down, bottom to top. So these are the two major things with respect to the scientific method. And you just see what type of analysis you are doing. Your analysis is coming from the top to down. That means top to down means it is deductive. If it is deductive, quantitative. If it is inductive, that means from bottom to top, it is qualitative research design. So in that way, you can find out your research design, in which research design you are. Then next one is the view of human behavior. So view of what is the view of human behavior? If your quantitative research design you are assigned, then you're regular and predictable. That human behavior is regular and predictable because everybody knows it, and it is regular, and in the continuous interval of time period it is happening. That behavior is happening and it is predictable. Tomorrow what will be happening, it can be predictable because statistical analysis we are using here. So for that reason, the human behavior is predictable. Tomorrow what path he will use, we can come to know. But in the qualitative research design, it is dynamic, situational, social, and personal. It is completely private. You cannot assess. Can you tell that why you are using such type of jackets worth of $1 million? No, it is personal because he is rich, he can use. You cannot tell that poor that why you are moving in the road in the nude way because he has no money. You cannot control it. That's quantitative. So in that way, you can see where you are. The next one is the most common research objectives. So most common research objectives, if your quantitative research design is there, then it must describe, explain, and predict. These three things, please, my dear friends, just remember this thing. This is the most common research objectives. If you are using the word describe, explain, and predict, these are the three major words. If you are using in your objective, then it leads to your quantitative research design. But if you are using the three other words, one is explore, discover, and construct. If you are using these three words, you are in the qualitative research design. That means from the objective also, you can come to know whether you are in the qualitative research or quantitative research. From these words also, from these keywords. So in that way also you can identify. Then you have to come to the focus. What would be the focus? If it is quantitative research design, what would be your focus? Focus will be narrow angle lens, tests a specific hypothesis. It is narrow. It is small, very small things you have to take care if it is quantitative. But if it is qualitative, all things you have to assess. That means total population you have to take care. Plot the sample. If a sample is coming, then it is quantitative. If the population is coming, it is qualitative. So in that way, you can come to know. Then nature of observation. Nature of observation, if it is quantitative research design, it is single, reality, and objective. It should be objective. And if it is qualitative, it is completely, I told you, it is subjective. Then the nature of reality. On. Then final report. So in the final report, if it is quantitative research design, then statistical report with correlations, comparisons of means, and statistical significance of findings. So if you are using some sort of a statistical analysis, you close your eye and you just tell, definitely I am in the path of using the quantitative research design. So if you are away from that, if you are not using the statistical analysis, any statistical analysis, no way you are in the quantitative, you are in the qualitative. That means qualitative means narrative report or contextual description, direct quotation from research participants. So nowadays, most of the library science people are using the content analysis. They are checking different YouTube's concepts and they are analyzing that contents and they are putting their conclusions. So that is the content analysis. That is not coming under the quantitative analysis. That is not coming under the quantitative research design. That is qualitative research design. So in that way, you can find out where you are. Now, next one, we have to see some sort of features. Now, common 7 features we will discuss. From the feature, because some of the authors and some of the books are describing with respect to the features. Some books are describing criteria, some discussing about the features, some discussing about the aspects. So I am giving you all the things. Now features. Now 7 features we have to take. So what are the features? Main 7 features. 7 features is a past is assumption. So if it is assumption feature, then we have to see the what is the assumptions. So now, excuse me, just a minute. Let me take some water. So now, so far as assumption is concerned, now we have to see if it is qualitative, what would be the assumption? That is important. That is the building blocks of the research design. Be careful. Assumption is the building block to make the research design distinctly. So that research assumption, if it is qualitative, reality is socially constructed. In the society, the reality things you are capturing, that is the assumption. So if you are capturing the reality things or real things from the society, then you are under the qualitative research design. And what are the qualitative another assumptions of the qualitative? Primacy of subjects, primacy of the subject, primacy. That means it is subjective in nature. Variables are complex because already I told you variable word you cannot use it. Construct you can use. Variable word you cannot use it. And if you take care of the variables, it is complex. It is dynamic. You cannot filter it. You cannot filter it because it is broad. The variable it is very difficult to find out. And it is interwoven and difficult to measure. And if you want to capture the variable by some sort of way, you will be harassed. You cannot, because there will be interlinking. So how you will filter it? So it is very difficult. And the relationship between variables are generally described as observed patterns or cases. That means whatever you are observing, just you are throwing. So that's the assumption behind.
No, sir.
There is no audio, sir.
Yes, yes, that's a technical issue. He'll be back. Just now talk with the resource person, and that's an internet issue. He's coming back again. Requesting the participants to wait for 1 more minute.
Are you hearing me now? I'm coming back.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So is it
Sir, yes.
my screen sharing?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, you're audible, sir. You're audible.
Okay, okay. Just I'm sharing my screen. Just a minute. Because there was a internet intermittent. Just a minute. Let me see. Screen is shared or not? Is screen sharing or not?
Yes, sir. Screen is shared.
Shared?
It's in the process.
But it
Yes, sir.
is
It is in
not
the process.
visible.
Visible? Now visible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
Yes,
Thank you.
yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Sorry for the
Yes, sir.
internet intermittent. So okay. So assumptions now quantitative aspect. So quantitative primacy of methods also one of the assumptions. Variables are measured with existing tools. Yes. So that will be there. And next one is the relationship between variables can be assessed using standard statistics. So these are the major assumptions through which you can assess whether you are in the quantitative and qualitative. So some group of people are dividing to see the quantitative and qualitative with respect to the features analysis. And second one is the purpose already I told you, so no need to tell. And researchers role also I already told. And then we'll come to the design. With respect to the design, so if your design, you are specifying some sort of a design and you are thinking that no, you have to go for some sort of a qualitative research design. So what will be your design? Your design should be flexible and emergent. So if your design is flexible, it is not rigid one, then definitely you are in the you are in the qualitative research design. And if it is a priori and inflexible research design, then definitely you are coming under the quantitative research design. Then you have to come to the approach. So with respect to the approach, so now we have to see the qualitative. What will be the approach to choose the qualitative research design? So if it is qualitative, your approach should be end with hypothesis and grounded theory. I told you already the grounded theory is part of the qualitative research. So if you are using the grounded theory, then definitely you are under the qualitative. And if it is emergence and portrayal, and if it is naturalistic, and if it is inductive study, not deductive, inductive means from bottom to top. Already I told you in the criteria part, bottom to top, that is inductive. So if it is, then you are under the qualitative. And searches for the patterns. So if you want to know the patterns of the society, let us say poverty. If you want to know the poverty pattern, only pattern you want to know, you are not in the position to analyze this with the statistical analysis, then you are under the qualitative. And if you are seeking the pluralism and complexity of the things, so you are not going for the specific problem, you are going for the multiple problem. So when you are going for the multiple problem decisions, then you are under the qualitative. And minor use of the numerical indices and the thick description through writings. Through writing only you are narrating everything, just as a columnist in any of the newspapers. And it is subjective also, and it is ideographic. What is ideographic? Ideographic approach. What is ideographic approach? Particular aspect of person. So let us say your friend is XYZ. So if you want to assess something about that particular person, that is called as ideographic. So if you are assessing that, then you are under the qualitative. And if it is emic perspective. So two word you are using, we are using here, emic and etic. If it is emic, it is coming under the qualitative. If it is etic, it is coming under the qualitative. So now come to the qualitative approach, a quantitative approach. So how you will define your quantitative with respect to the approach? begins with a hypothesis and theory. Already I told you, hypothesis must be there. If it is research question, if a research question is there, it is qualitative. If a research hypothesis is there, it is quantitative. So in that way you can see. Manipulation and control. You can manipulate, you can control by using the control variables. But same thing you cannot do in the qualitative.
Audio is not coming, sir.
There's a problem with the audio, sir. Please check it again.
Dear participants, very good evening. And there is a power issue. Just now, resource person called me, requesting you to wait for 1 or 2 more minutes. There's a power issue. Okay. Dear participants, very good evening. He is back. There is a power issue. That is the only thing he is not able to come. And now it is rectified. He will join normal.
Okay. Is it audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So screen is not shared, na? Just a minute.
No, sir.
Just a minute. I'm sharing the screen. Just a minute. Sorry for this. Is it visible? Not?
Not yet, sir.
Okay.
Not
okay.
yet,
No.
sir.
Just a minute. Just a minute. I'm saying where it is. Now is it said?
Yes, sir.
Is it said?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay. So now I think it is visible.
Yes, sir.
Yes, it is okay.
Yes, sir,
Please
it's all right.
proceed.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. So we were sorry for that power interruptions also and also internet. So now we are in also we finished in the part of the approach with respect to the quantitative. So if it is quantitative, then your approach should be deductive, and it should be in experimentation, and component analysis must be there, and it seeks consensus and the norms also, and it reduces all data to numerical indices. That is most important thing. It should be numerical in nature, it should not be non-numerical. That will guide you to the quantitative research design, and it should be precise and technical language. Numerical presentation must be there, and it is objective, already I told you. And then nomothetic feature you must have. So what is nomothetic?
Sir, you are not audible.
I'm not audible. Just a minute.
No, you are audible. Please proceed.
You are audible, sir.
Audible, sir, audible. You are audible.
Okay.
So you are audible.
Okay.
Yes,
So
No,
audible.
sir.
So those who are telling it is not audible, please check your mic and speakers, please. Maybe some technical fault is there, or else you may reconnect or rejoin. Okay. So if others are hearing, there is no issue. I hope so. Okay. Anyhow, so now come to the point. It is nomothetic, which is very important one. I told you previously that is there is ideographic, and now it is nomothetic. What is nomothetic? Nomothetic means general aspect of a person. General aspect, not particular aspect. Be careful. If your research is going for the general aspect, means you are going for the generalization. You are in the quantitative side, not in the qualitative side. So two major words you have to see with respect to the feature. One is nomothetic, another one is the ideographic. So that you have to remember with respect to the approach in the quantitative and qualitative. And already I told you, one is etic and another one is the emic. And next one is the evaluation. So in the evaluation, so now we will go for the evaluation thing. So from evaluation aspect, how we will come to know this thing. So that we have to see. So now the evaluation, with respect to the evaluation, we have to see the two types of evaluations. First, you decide, you have assumed that you should do your work on the quantitative research design. So if you are stick to that, then you have to take care of your evaluation criteria. Which type of evaluation you should take care if your research design is under the quantitative? So first, quantitative. It must be having internal validity. Already it may be described in the previous sessions. I should not go details of that. So just I am hinting. Internal validity, there are two types of validity, many types of validity, but major two validity you have to check. Internal validity and external validity. If your data is focusing on that internal validity and external validity, you are in the quantitative research design. And also reliability test you have to do, reliability and objectivity. So these are the four major evaluation criteria. If you are doing these four evaluation criteria, then your design is under the quantitative. Now come to the qualitative. Let us say you are hanging, you are unable to do the internal validity, external validity, reliability test, and objectivity. So now you are coming to the qualitative, because you are in the language department, you are in the humanity department. So what will be the evaluation? Because every research has its own evaluation criteria. So what will be the evaluation? Credibility and trustworthiness. So that you should be having. Transferability, conformability and dependability, engagement and reflexibility. Reflexivity. What is reflexivity? So that is very important one. Reflexivity. If this word is coming in the design, you should close your eye and you should tell that design is going towards the qualitative. So what is the reflexivity? The act of examining one's own assumption. Somebody has put some sort of assumption and it has to be examined. Let us say you are telling, I am the great, and you have to prove that you are great. So if you are going to prove that you are great, then design is going towards the quantitative, or else it is not. Then finally we'll come to the product. So what will be the product? So with respect to the product, so product is final. What is the product? Finally, what you are getting? Let us say up to now, up to this, you are not knowing whether your direction is going towards qualitative and quantitative. From the product, we can judge it. What type of product you are selling in the market at the end. For your thing, I am telling you, there are three things: input, processing, output, outcome. So now this product maybe in form of the output, maybe in form of the outcome. Be careful. Product has two dimensions. Product may take the shape of the output. Product may take the shape of the outcome. Outcome is the last. And before that, output comes. So in this case, if your product is showing the status of a hypothesis, that means your product is showing the hypothesis, you close your eye, declare your design as the quantitative. But if your product is rich description, theory development, and simply a book, then it is no more a quantitative, but is qualitative. So this is all about the features. So now, third group of people, third group of researchers, and some of the books, they are putting some aspects. So what are the aspects? So now briefly I will go for that aspects. I will not take much more time. Now with the aspects, the data type already I have told, objective I have told, methodology, what type of methodology you are using, subjective methodology or objective methodology, sample size also you have to take care of the sample size, and statistical analysis. And statistical analysis, now you see statistical analysis is completely used in the quantitative, but somewhat in qualitative statistical analysis is used in text format, in the content format. So some people are telling it is also statistical analysis, but clearly it is not statistical analysis, because statistical analysis is giving you the numerical analysis. But some authors are telling it is also content analysis is also coming under the statistical analysis. So in that way, we are taking it as one of the aspects. Replicability. So replicability must be there. And purpose, already I discussed the purpose in both the quantitative and qualitative. I should not go for that. Validity, already recently I just told the validity. Flexibility and inflexibility also. Some is flexible and some is inflexible. And research settings. What type of research settings? Qualitative research setting or quantitative research setting? So that you have to see. Personal aspect or specific aspect or the general aspect. So that's the research setting. So if you are dealing with the particular person, qualitative. If you are going for a general aspect of that person, quantitative aspect, that's the research settings. Then common fields. So what are the common fields? So whether you are using the field study, survey study, so that you have to take it. Data representation. So what type of data you are representing? So that takes a matter, and ethical consideration. So this is most important, that ethical considerations. So if you are putting some sites in your paper, definitely it is qualitative. But putting something with some sort of a numerical things with analysis, quantitative. So these are some sort of aspects what I have told in form of criteria, features, and aspects. Through that you can find out which one is quantitative, qualitative, and if you mix all these things, both quantitative and qualitative, you can get the mixed. So now we have to come to the main part. So now after discussing that whether we are in the quantitative or qualitative, now question comes that we are in dilemma. Which thing we have to take care? Whether we have to take qualitative or quantitative? The answer and solution is triangulation. From this, now we have to march towards the mixed approach. Solution is triangulation. So what does it triangulation? There is a triangle, you see, and multiple lines of sides. You have to see the theories, you have to see the data technologies, you have to see the research. That means researcher has to see the theories behind the design and what are the data technologies behind that design. So when these three are combined, it is called as the triangulations. And this triangulation will give birth to the mixed approach. So now we are in the mixed approach stage. So now question comes, how it comes? What is the brief story? What is the brief history? So there are major 4 years where we can find the mixed approach. Actually, it is fastly developed in the 1959. 1959 is the first development of the mixed story. So now here you can see concept of mixing different methods by Campbell and Fiske. And who? It is from the psychologists. Psychology department has started first of all this mixed approach in the 1959. Then 1973, it has combined the quantitative and qualitative by S.D. Sieber, and 1979 by Jack, by converging or triangulating different quantitative and qualitative. And combined and triangulation are not similar, I will tell and I will discuss just later on. Then finally, Creswell and Tasakuri and Teddy Lee came in the 1989 up to 2003. And these 1989 and 2003 are the main theme and where the real mixed approach has come. So now, why we will use this mixed approach? So there are flexibility of design options, because there is some flexibility. For that reason, we are using the mixed method. So what is the flexibility? Triangulation, complementarity, development, initiation, expansion. So these are the following. First triangulation you have to do, then complementarity, then you have to develop it, then you have to initiate it, then you can expand it. So this is the 5 stages through which the mixed method can come up. And this is the reason, because of triangulation, because of a complementarity, because of a development, because of initiation, because of expansion, the mixed method is used. So these are the things. So now the main reasons: insufficient argument. If you are getting insufficient argument from either the quantitative and qualitative, then you can go for the mixing. Or if you are getting multiple angles of argument, then you can use the mixed method. And if the more evidence, the better the argument. If it is the theory, then you can go for the mixed one. And if a community of a practice argument, if it is there, then you can go for the mixed argument. And if it is eager to learn argument, if you are eager to learn the next thing, then you have to go for the mixed. And it is intuitive. Be careful, my dear friends. The last word I am using, the intuitive. It mirrors the real life. It mirrors the real life. If your research is going towards mirroring your real life, then you have to go for the mixed method. Then typical situations in which the mixed methods can be used. If you want to compare the results from the quantitative and qualitative, you can use. And if it helps explain the quantitative findings from the qualitative, you can go for the mixed method. And if you want to generalize the findings to explore by using the qualitative to the quantitative, then you can go for that. And if it is to develop an instrument because none are available or useful, and to augment an experiment with qualitative data. So if you want to augment the experimentation with that qualitative data, then you can go for the mixed methods. Then already we came to know what are the reasons and why we will use the mixed method. Then the next one is what mixed method is not. That means, is it the simple collection of the qualitative and quantitative data? No, that is not mixed. The collection of multiple types of qualitative data, it is not mixed. These are the conditions you have to check. Collection of multiple types of quantitative, it is also not mixed. Just transforming qualitative data into quantitative data during analysis, it is also not mixed. Note, ongoing debate about whether questionnaire plus free text equals mixed method. No. So these are the main things we have to think. So simply if you will combine, it is not mixed. There should be some sort of a logic you have to consider, that we will see now. So now, so this is some sort of stricter definitions that we should not go. Now it is what is mixed method approach. So in the mixed method approach, so we have to see some sort of method approach. Philosophical assumptions already I told, pragmatic knowledge, that I should not discuss now. After that, strategies of inquiry, whether it is sequential, whether it is concurrent, whether it is transformative. I will come just after some time how it will be. And what are the methods? Methods are both open-ended and closed-ended, both emerging and predetermined approaches, both quantitative and qualitative data analysis, and practices of research as researcher, collects both quantitative and qualitative data, develops a rationale for mixing, integrates the data at different stages of inquiry, presents visual pictures of the procedures in the study, employs the practices of both quantitative and qualitative research. So now several stances of philosophy behind the mixed methods. So there are different paradigms, or there are different several stances. One paradigm. So under one paradigm, you may use the pragmatism or transformative, as for the Tassak and Terrell 2003 and Morton's 2003. One paradigm you can use it, either pragmatism or transformative. Then multiple paradigm also you can use. After that, after 2003, 2007, Green told some sort of multiple paradigms, that is called as dialectic perspective. And then 2007 also, linking paradigms. You have to link the paradigms, Creswell and Plano and Clark. And then 2005 also, epistemological stances, ontology and epistemology, axiology, methodology, already I discussed previously. And shared beliefs in research fields, Morgan 2007. Then what is it and how it forms your study? And this is the pragmatism. And the major driving force to have the mixed method research is pragmatism most of the time. And what is this? It arises out of action, situations, and consequences rather than antecedent conditions. So that is important. Actions, situations, and consequences. So if you are considering these things, then your research design should go for the mixed method. There is a concern with applications. It should apply to the society and what works and solutions to the problem. So it will little bit towards bending towards the action research. Little bit, not vice versa. And instead of focusing on methods, researchers emphasize the research problem. Be careful, my dear friends. Every time in the quantitative or qualitative, we are focusing on the methods. But here, we are not doing that. Yes, methods are there, but before the methods, the research problem is playing an important role to decide the mixed method research. So, dear friends, you have to remember this thing. The problems, not the methods. And how the methods can be mixed. Typing of mixing. So, two types of research questions and comments, one fitting a quantitative approach and other is qualitative. So this type of research question you can find out. Research question can come from the quantitative and qualitative and you can mix it. Then you can develop the mixed method. And second one is the research, the manner in which the research questions are developed. Pre-planned, it is quantitative versus participatory or emergent in the qualitative. And two types of sampling procedure, probability versus purposive. Purposive in case of qualitative, probability in case of quantitative. So mix it, these two types of sampling. Two types of data collection. One is survey. Survey means quantitative and focus group means qualitative. So if you will mix focus group and the surveys data, then it will be mixed. And two types of data analysis, numerical and textual. Textual or visual from the qualitative and numerical data from the quantitative. Then data analysis will be coming up. Then another data analysis, statistical versus thematic. If it is thematic, if it is motive based, if it is motive based or if it is thematic based, then or it content based, then it is qualitative, and if it is statistical based, then it is quantitative. Then mix it, then you can find out the data analysis for the mixed method. And the conclusion, both objective and subjective interpretation, because you have already used the quantitative and qualitative aspects. So now we have to go for some mixed method research, how to choose the appropriate mixed method design. So there are 4 points. So one is strands. Level of interaction between two strands are independent and interactive. So that you have to see. That means interaction between two strands. One strand is independent, another one is the interactive. Interactive is qualitative, independent is quantitative. So when you are mixing these things, then you can find out the mixed. And relative priority, equal, unequal priority. So that you have to see the priority. And timings, concurrent, whether it is concurrent, whether it is sequential, whether it is combination of these two, I will discuss now. And where or how to mix the strands, point of interface. So what is the point of interface? So now point of interface from the 3 things. Already I told you just a few hours ago in the research process that actually the distinction comes with respect to the data collection, data analysis and interpretation. So now that is the point of interface, and that point of interface with respect to the data collection is quantitative qualitative results built to the subsequent collection of quantitative and qualitative data. Then data analysis, transform one type of data into other type of data and analyze combined data, and interpretation, comparing or combining results from both the methods. Then we have to see actually how we will design the mixed methods. So these are the frameworks how we have to design. First one is the preliminary considerations. Preliminary consideration, under the preliminary consideration research problem you have to find out. Already I told you in the mixed method, method is not the issue. Issue is the research problem. So if you are able to tackle the research problem very cunningly, then you can deal the mixed method very properly. So that's the consideration you have to take care, and that's the important consideration rather than the methods. Then creating a title may be short, maybe topic oriented, maybe participant oriented. Posing a general question, and that question should be answerable. If you will ask some question and it is not answerable, so that is not justifiable for choosing the mixed method. So while you will prepare the mixed method, that questions whatever you are developing or whatever you are going to develop, that should be answerable, and that must be answered by some person. If it is not answerable, it is not leading to the mixed question. And types of data, earlier I told you, both quantitative and qualitative data, collection and analysis. Quantitative data, that is closed-ended, and the qualitative data, that is already open-ended. Already I told you, making explicit your worldview, already I told you. And majorly we are using here pragmatism view in the mixed methods. Other you can use, but most of the people and researchers are using pragmatism approach while they are choosing the mixed method. Other you can use, there is no such strict hard and fast, but mostly we are using the pragmatism. And identifying your research design also, what type of research design you have to do, whether maybe qualitative or quantitative or mix of that, and what is the sequence of that, and drawing a figure of a design also, you have to draw that figure, and what is the purpose of statement also you have to do, and research questions you have to elaborate, and research plan you have to do. Then we have to go for some sort of notations. Before entering into the mixed methods, we should know some sort of notations. So shorthand notations, quan and qual you see, and quan stands, that means if it is quan, that means if capital is Q under the quan, that means quan is represented, that means it is quantitative method, that means quan stand, it is quantitative method, and qual stands means qualitative methods. And if it is uppercase, let us say you see all are quan, because we are not writing quantitative and qualitative in the mixed. We are writing either quan or qual. Shortly we are using. So if quan is written in the uppercase, then highlight is there on the quantitative. And if the uppercase is in the qual, highlight is in the qualitative aspect. So that's the thing. That means it is priority base. And lowercase, if a lowercase is there, then lower priority. Priority is less. And plus means if a plus sign is there, quan plus qual you see, that means it is mix. Now it is mix. If it is arrow, arrow means it is following. It is following. Quan leads to means follow. And parenthesis, if it is parenthesis there, that is embedded, that means this is inside the quan, that means qualitative aspect is under the quantitative aspect. So that's the parenthesis symbol. And double arrow, if a double arrow is there, now methods are implemented in recursive process, that means quantitative can lead to qualitative, qualitative can lead to the quantitative. So in that and vice versa, you can say in that way, that means it is recursive. And if a brackets, that means if it is the horizontal bracket, then it is known as the mixed method. Now it is mixed method is used with a single study or project within a series of studies. So that you have to know it. And now you see what is the interpretation here. It
Hello.
Sir, you are
Hello,
not,
sir. Are you there?
sir, you are not audible, sir. Hello.
You are not audible, sir.
Yeah, is it audible?
Yes,
Is it
sir.
okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So
sir.
now we have to go for because now 10 minutes left because you are also I'm taking much more time for you. So already heat has come up. So now the strategies. So what type of strategy we will use? Because many things are to deliver, but it is time is not sufficient for me. Anyhow, two strategy we have to use. One strategy is the sequential and explanatory strategy. Second one is second sequential exploratory strategy, and third one is the sequential transformative strategy. So now I will discuss that. Means here the common thing is that a sequential. Okay, so this is one strategy. So how this one
Excuse
strategy
me,
I
sir.
will discuss.
Actually, you have not shared your screen.
I have not said.
Yeah.
Just a minute. Now is it said?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Now it is showing, sir.
So
Yes,
said.
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. Just a minute. So now you see this is the sequential pattern. This is one strategy in the mixed method. Actually, we have come to the mixed method. So how you have to use, because already you know the basic things. Now I am applying these things. So now first one is these three are under the first strategy of the mixed method. The first strategy has three subsegments: design A, design B, and design C. In design A, sequential explanatory. Explanatory word talks about the quantitative. Be careful, the word. Sequential means following. One sequence to another sequence. That's the following case. Okay. So explanatory, the quantitative. So it is explanatory means already I told you in the notation pattern. Explanatory means it is highlighted. That highlighted means quantitative here. The quant, all the quant letters are in the uppercase. So we will start collecting the data from the quantitative, then we have to go for the qualitative. So if this is the case, then we can say it is a sequential explanatory design under mixed method research or mixed research. Okay. And how? The quantitative data first you have to collect, then you have to analyze it, then you have to collect the qualitative data, then you have to analyze the qualitative data, and after that you have to interpret the entire analysis. So if you are doing this design one, you are under the sequential explanatory design, where quantitative approach is dominating a important is dominating in that research. Then come next, sequential exploratory. Some people will focus on qualitative aspect, isn't it? So when some people, just like humanities department, if they will focus on the qualitative aspect, it is going towards the sequential exploratory. Now you see the difference is explanatory, exploratory. Exploratory means qualitative. Now you see it is highlighted in the uppercase. That means researcher is giving much more focus on the qualitative aspect. First, he has to collect the data from the qualitative, then analyze it, then he has to collect the data from the quantitative, then analyze, then interpret. Then it is called as a sequential exploratory design under the mixed method. Both are mixed method, but the design is different. That you have to take care. And if you are not finding these things, you are in the wrong side of using the mixed method research. Then last one under the strategy one, sequential transformative, the design C. So what is this sequential transformative? So this is qual may be dominant, maybe quan may be dominant. So based upon the case, if you are from the non-humanities department, your focus will be quan to the quan, and if you are from the humanities department, your process should start from the qual to qual. So what are the things you have to take care? Social science theory, qualitative theory, and advocacy worldview. These three things you should not forget it. You should take these things to draw the sequential transformative thing. So this is the first strategy. Now I am going for the second strategy because only two strategies are there in the mixed method. The first strategy in the sequential format and second strategy in the concurrent format. So in concurrent format, something different we will do. Previously we did it in form of exploratory, explanatory, and transformative. Yes or no? Transformative. Now we will change the words here. Your concurrent, all are concurrent. At the same time, both will be happening. And here it is triangulation. Under the second strategy, sub point 1, design 1 is concurrent triangulation design. Under the concurrent triangulation, here is quan, here is qual. That means now concurrent triangulation both are important because both are highlighted in the upper cases you see. Quantitative also important, qualitative also important. At the same time, you have to find out the data collection and data analysis from the quantitative analysis and also from the qualitative analysis, and you merge it and compare the results, and whatever result are coming is considered as the concurrent triangulation design method. Okay. Then next is concurrent embedded. Embedded means somebody is under somebody. One is superior, one is inferior. Embedded means superior inferiority complexity. So that you have to see. Now you see in the left hand side what I have done, qual and qual. Now which is embedded? That this bracket is embedded. This is important. This is highlighted. Quan is highlighted. And after getting the quan, under the quan qualitative data will be done. Then you have to find out the analysis of the findings. Another aspect, qualitative is highlighted here because qualitative is important because these are from the humanities department. So they are going for the concurrent embedded. So first they are collecting the qualitative data. Under that they are finding the quantitative data, and then they are finding the analysis of the findings. And the last design of the second strategy is concurrent transformation. That was the transformative, now it is the transformation. And here what you will find, in one aspect both are highlighted, you see both are highlighted, and here it is embedded. That means both embedded one and both highlighted one, when you are combining these two, this is called as concurrent transformation design. So now you can get some idea that which design you have to use under the mixed method, because in the mixed method 6 sub methods, sub designs are there. One sub methods, main sub methods are 2, that is sequential and concurrent. Under sequential 3 sub are there, and under a concurrent 3 sub are there. So under which design you are there, you just decide. So now I am showing you some sort of figure so that you will be comfortable to know the explanatory sequential or sequential explanatory. Now this is apple and this is this is explanatory. That means this is quantitative, this is qualitative, and this is quality. This is having the quality, this is having the quantity, and result is interpreted. So it is the way to do the explanatory sequential approach. So now next one is the exploratory sequential with the figurative. So just I am reversing, it is qualitative and it is quantitative. Now it is interpretations. So now we have to go for some sort of characteristics known it. Then we have to go for concurrent. Now you see concurrent triangulations here. And here convergent parallel example. Now here it is apple, it is quantitative, it is qualitative. And from these you are getting some sort of things, and it is convergent or convergent you can say, or it is parallel and it is interpretations. So now you have to go for this is more complicated things. Now you cannot find anything from here, and here you have to take one by one. This is qualitative, this is quantitative, and from this it leads to the banana, and here also there, here also going to here and here. So this type of case is much more complicated, and it is not visible in the real world, but it is thinkable. So now we have to go the steps of conducting the mixed method. So there are 7 steps. The first step, you have to determine if a mixed method study is feasible or not. That you have to take care. And second step, identify the rationale for the mixed method study. And third one, which is most important, identify the data collection strategy and types of design, priority, sequence, and visualization. Already I discussed. And fourth step, develop quantitative and qualitative research. And fifth step, collect quantitative qualitative data. And 6, analyze the data. And 7, write of the things. So now we have to go for the drawbacks. What are the drawbacks of that mixed method? So some sort of drawbacks is there, and the strength and weaknesses at the end. Strengths, because each and every design is from the pros and cons. Some potential strengths of a mixed method are richness to the number of and precision to the text. Numbers can strengthen grounded theory, can address broader questions, enhance generalizability of research. And what are the weaknesses? Added labor and expenses to research. Explanations become more complex, can lead to epistemic prioritization. The researcher revert back to preferred method to resolve conflict. So then finally, I have to show you the references from which I have taken care of all these things, that John Creswell and R. Burke Johnson and Anthony. And this paper you can see for the things. These are the reference sections. And the last but not for the least, the conclusions. With this, I will wind up my sessions with a happy way. The conclusions, remember that good research starts with research design, which is most important. Already we have focused on this today session more and more. And qualitative research design is flexible, and research is dynamic process. Select your methods and data collection techniques carefully. Select appropriate way to analyze and report the result of your research. Use mixed methods only when necessary. So these are the conclusions, and this is the further readings. You can go for these books to have the good idea on this. And finally, thank you for your attention. And now your turn, please, to ask anything. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Let me invite.
Sorry for that to take extra time. For that reason, I am apologizing.
Yeah, no problem, sir. No problem, sir. No problem.
Because of the network issue and the power.
Yes, now,
so
now the floor is open for discussion.
Okay.
For 5 minutes.
Okay.
Since we are running out of time.
Yes, yes.
If you want to ask it also, you can ask for 5 minutes.
Okay.
Hello, sir.
Followed by vote of thanks by Dr. Shanti.
Hello. Hello, sir.
Yes.
Hello. Sir, good evening, sir.
Very good evening.
And this is Ritu, a PhD research scholar.
Yes.
And question is to you, sir. What are the potential biases and assumptions associated with mixed methodology, and how will we mitigate them?
You see, the assumptions you are talking of, already I discussed the assumptions with respect to the qualitative and quantitative. Am I right? So all the assumptions must be there in the mixed methods, because what I told, mixed method is what? The presence of both quantitative and qualitative. That means all the features, all the assumptions of both the things should be intact in the mixed. If it is not that, let us say, for example, one example I am sharing you. Assumption is subjective and objective. Qualitative is subjective. Quantitative is objective. That means mixed should have both assumptions, both subjective and objective. That means statistical analysis you have to do, and text analysis and content analysis you have to do. So in that way, both the assumptions will be intact. If some assumptions will not be there, whether it is qualitative or quantitative, it cannot be called as the mixed method. Are you getting me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Got it, sir.
Yes. So definitely both the things should be there, because it should be intact. Nothing should be avoided. So for that reasons, I gave you the detailed study. What is quantitative? What is qualitative? What is aspect? What is criteria? What is features? All the things you have to take care. All the dimensions. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Clear?
Okay, sir. Got it, sir. Thank you,
Okay.
sir.
Okay. Welcome.
Hello.
Anybody else, please?
Sir, hello.
Yes.
Sir, thank you for the session, sir.
Welcome.
I
Nice
just
here.
want your inputs about one thing. There cannot be a pure, quantitative research and vice versa, because it inherently, each one will have the other. Like though in quantitative method, you'll be using only numbers and quantity, but whenever you do the findings or interpret the data, definitely there will be some sort of qualitative quality in that. So, and in like other way around also, what's your input on that? That is what I have felt.
Yes, yes, yes. So I think you have missed some sort of lecture while I was delivering. You see,
And I was throughout your session,
okay,
sir.
okay. Now come.
Going very deep in.
Okay,
See,
okay,
if it
okay.
was okay, let me
Okay,
be
come
more
to the
clear.
point. So
Let me be more clear.
you are talking about the report section. I caught you. You are talking about the report section. So in the
I'm talking
report,
about overall thing. Whenever you categorize, say for example, if at all you are doing only the statistical analysis, say for example GDP or whatever like that, you are telling only the numbers, but definitely it will tell some traits or some characteristics, embodied in that. Is it not the qualitative analysis overall?
yes. Yeah, my dear,
Sense have.
my dear, I told one thing. One is a construct, one is variable. So what you are telling GDP is a construct, it is not a variable. So under the GDP, there are different types of variables. So we should check it, construct and variable. The construct and variable. Getting my point or not? So whenever you are using only constructs, it goes towards the qualitative. And from that construct, when you are trying to find out some sort of a varying things or variables, then it leads to the quantitative. What you are saying is right. Behind the quantitative, there is qualitative because construct is used. But we have to see all the things to be incorporated. Are you getting me? Hello?
No, not really, sir. Can you be more clear or simple so that I can understand?
Now you see, I am giving one example. So now GDP. I am telling GDP is a construct. So how I will find out the variable from that GDP? Now I am telling GDP is affected by our rice production, our export items, our import items, and our FDI. Okay.
Yeah.
So these are my variables. So these are leading towards the GDP. Clear my point?
Yes.
Okay. So when I am collecting the data from the export, from the import, from the FDI, from the production, it may be primary production, it may be secondary, it may be tertiary. So when I am collecting all the data from these segment, and it leads to the gross domestic product of the nation. The gross domestic product is not a variable as per me. It is a construct under which different variables are there because constituents of that construct leads to the variable. Clear?
Yes.
Clear. So anything else, please? You can ask. Also, I can.
Now these things constitute for higher GDP. That means higher the lower the whatever you tell. That means you are telling the quality, right?
Quality. Now you see.
Variables. See, the production of rice or wheat, whatever you are telling. If you tell that this gives rise to that, whether it can increase or decrease, though it is quantity, but there also we are telling the quality also, isn't it, sir?
You see, in the qualitative aspect, variable word is absent. Already I told you. Yes or no? Variable word you cannot get. Variable word you cannot get. Variable word only you can get in the quantitative design. And your question is that behind that variable, some analysis, some text, some contents are there. I am admitting that. And that context and that image and that word refers to the construct. because construct is there in the qualitative, variable is there in the quantitative. Clear? So behind the variable, construct is there. Without having the construct, you cannot get the variable. Am I clear? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Am I clear now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm with you.
Okay. So
Yeah, I'm with you.
you cannot detach quantitative and qualitative purely, but we can define. So far as research design is concerned in the logical flow. Getting my point or not?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes.
for that reason, we have to see. So remember one thing, your point is very valid point and important point, and most of the researchers are confused in this area. So be careful, you just choose the construct and variable. So from that you can assess actually where is the qualitative and where is the quantitative. Construct means qualitative, close your eye. And variable means quantitative. Clear? Not vice versa. And the variable is embedded in the construct. Getting my point?
Yes, sir. I'm with you.
Anybody else?
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Sir, can I?
Yes, please.
Sir, this is Dr. Pamni, sir. I mean, from University of Hyderabad, currently working as a postdoctoral fellow, sir.
Thank you very much. Tell me.
Sir, I mean, that was a wonderful session, sir, and very enlightening section as well, sir.
Thank you very much.
Sir, like this is with regard to how is an ethic, like you said, emic is for quantitative and ethic is for qualitative. How it is different from insider or outsider perspective, sir? Because what happens in a qualitative while collecting a qualitative data, like we go ahead with interviews or narratives, oral histories, etc.
Yes.
So at times there are chances that we as a participant observant, we become insider of that realm, right? So is it because I mean, emic is to do with quantitative and ethic is to do with qualitative? So I mean, just want the differentiations.
Just let me go back to that slide so that it will be very clear to you.
Okay.
So just let me go back to that thing. Just a minute so that it will be clear.
Okay.
So emic and ethic, just a minute, just a half second I will take. So
sir, I have a question. Hello.
Just a minute, let me answer emic and ethic. Research type. Now you see, it was under the approach. Am I right? Emic and ethic is approach of defining the quantitative and qualitative. Clear? So now under the approach, you have to see.
Sir, I cannot see that slide, sir.
Okay, you have not seen, huh?
Yes, sir. I'm unable to see that slide, sir.
Okay. Just
Slides are visible.
Okay, just a minute. Yeah, I will show you.
They are visible, sir.
Now they are visible, but coming to emic and ethic.
Now you see emic is down. Now you see.
Okay.
Yes. Emic highlighted and ethic is here. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So now this is one of the approach, ethic approach and emic approach, or perspective you can say.
Okay.
So when you are using this ethic, all the previous approaches must be there. You see, it should be nomothetic, it should be objective, it should be numerical presentation, it should be reducing all the data to numerical indices and seeking consensus, the norm, and it should be deductive, component analysis, experimentation, manipulation, and a control begins with hypothesis and theories. If all these things will be together, then it can form the ethic approach. Yeah. And in the similar way, you come to the emic.
Okay.
That means identical. Is it clear now?
Yes, sir. Got it, sir. Thank you.
Because I didn't show you, that's why you are in the confusion.
Yes.
So now I think you can take the snap of it so that you can, because it is one of the approach. What you are saying is right, and most of the researchers are in the confusion. state of the confusion. What is emic and etic? That means emic and etic will come if the previous approaches will follow. If any one of the approaches will not follow, you cannot come to the conclusion that it is emic or it is etic. And you should remember this thing, because I didn't show this slide, only I was narrating. That's why you are in the dilemma, I think now it is clear, I hope.
Yes, sir. I got it, sir. Thank you, sir.
Hello, sir. Hello.
Yes.
Hello, sir.
Yes, I'm hearing.
Sir, directly I will come to. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, please.
Sir, directly I come to the question, sir. My question is regarding, as you said that without construct, there is no variables. Am I right, sir?
Construct must be there first of all. Then variable will follow.
Can you let me explain with a simple example? That is, for my problem was application of multimedia. That is impact of multimedia. That is effect of multimedia teaching on academic excellence. That is that end of the academic year. The output is here. Can you discriminate which one is construct and which one is variable, sir? Yeah, kindly please.
Now you tell me once again your topic.
Impact of multimedia on academic excellence of the students.
Academic excellence.
Can you discriminate which one is construct and which one is variable? Because
now you see,
the construct is a qualitative and variable is a quantitative.
Yeah.
That's why
Now you see, come to the point. Your analysis is the impact analysis.
Yes,
you are putting the impact of multimedia on academic excellence. Clear?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
So in your title, you are giving the variables already. You have already given the variables.
Yes. You, as you said in the lecture also, you said there is experimental study always to be a quantitative. Absolutely right, sir. But now I am changing the topic. Factors and analyzing the factors which are responsible for academic excellence through multimedia education. That's factors.
Now you see. So when you are talking about this title, the impact, and when we are using the word impact, it directly goes towards the quantitative aspect.
Yeah.
It directly goes towards the quantitative aspect. Now, question comes. So quantitative means variable you have already found out. Clear?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay. So in the mixed method, you just check one thing. Already I told you some embedded thing. Under the quantitative, qualitative is embedded. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Qualitative is embedded. Should I show that point? Just
no, sir. I'm crossing that one. Yeah, I still remember that one. And within the box, you clearly mentioned. Yeah, yes, sir.
Yeah. Now you see, sequential embedded. That means concurrent system. Let me go for that. Yeah, sequential concurrent. Here it is. Now you see, you are here.
Yes, sir.
You are here.
Yeah.
You are here.
Yeah, construct quantity.
Qualitative is under the quantitative because you have already shown the quantitative in the title. Clear?
Okay. Oh, yes, sir.
So your analysis now will be under the concurrent embedded design.
Embedded design. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Clear? But listen me. Concurrent embedded design of left hand side, not right hand side.
Of course, yes, yeah.
Because your title is quantitative, the variable you have shown.
Yes, sir.
And from that variable, you have to find out some sort of qualitative aspect, some constructs also.
Okay, through open-end questions. Okay, sir.
Yeah. Isn't it? So now, then you will find your analysis. So your research design will be on the concurrent embedded design, having the left-hand side, not on the right-hand side, because concurrent embedded has.
Now I am clear that, as you said, in concurrent embedded design, whether we can have one left-hand side or either the right-hand side. Am I right, sir?
Yes, sir. Because how I find it, because when I intentionally asked you, you tell me your title. So from the title, I came to know it is impact. Impact means variables are disclosed. Variables disclosed means quantitative is highlighted. Quan, all are quan. You see, all letters are highlighted.
Okay.
All are
Because
highlighted means variables are coming up. Under that, you want to find out some sort of a qualitative aspect. Clear?
okay. Clear, sir. Clear.
So you are under the left side, not in the right side.
Right side. Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. I will call you later, sir, because without wasting the time,
Yes, thank you,
definitely
sir.
I will
Thank you
reach
so
you
much.
some
Thank
other
you
time.
so
Okay.
much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. Now let me invite Dr. Shanti to give the vote of thanks.
Excuse me, sir. I have a question.
Yes.
Hello, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, please.
Sir, my question is actually, I will come to the question directly. I will tell you my topic. My topic is an exploration of cultural heritage
Just
in
a minute.
central western Himachal Pradesh.
Just a minute. Exploration
of cultural heritage
in
the central western Himachal Pradesh.
Central
Western Himachal Pradesh. And assessing their tourism potential.
Acha.
So, sir, my question is, which design is going to be applied here? Whether it is concurrent triangulation, embedded design, transformative, or some sequential?
Now, first of all, same thing I told to your previous person. From the title, I can decide. Now, your title is exploring. Clear? What word you have used? Exploring of cultural heritage in the central western Himachal Pradesh and assessing the tourism potential.
Yes, sir.
So you are going to explore first, then you will assess. First is exploration.
Yes,
Second one is the assessment. Clear?
Yes, sir.
From the title, it is very clear.
Yes, sir.
So from that, how I will go for the design making. Exploration leads to what? Tell me. Two words I told. One is exploration, one is explanatory. Sequential come. Sequential.
Yes, sir. It will lead to the exploratory design.
Your case is under the sequential exploratory design because exploration first you will do the exploration. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Exploration means first of all you have to find out the qualitative data. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Then you have to analyze it.
Okay, sir.
Then after that you have to collect the quantitative data to assess the things. How will you assess? Assessing through the statistical analysis. Clear?
Yes, sir. Through a questionnaire survey. Yes, sir.
Not questionnaire is okay. After the questionnaire, numerical data will come up. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So when numerical data will come up, that leads to quantitative data collection and quantitative data analysis. Clear?
Yes,
and at the end, you will present your report. So your research design will come under the sequential exploratory design under mixed method of strategy 1.
Sir, the emphasis will be given on qualitative or quantitative?
Now here we cannot, here up to this we can give the emphasis on the qualitative now. Why? Because you are telling exploration. You are exploring the data first. Clear? Assessing is the second. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Am I audible?
Yes,
so
sir. Yes,
which one is coming first? First father is coming or first son is coming? Tell me.
Father is coming first, sir.
Father. Who is the father? Exploration is the father. Assessing is the son. Clear? Got the point?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Welcome. Anybody else, please?
Yes, now let me invite Dr. Shanti to give the vote of thanks.
Hello.
Thank you, sir.
Hello.
Yes.
Good evening once again, everyone. I am now the session to closing today, the session. Now I am very happy and proud to say a vote of thanks. It has been such an honor to be a part of this wonderful event. On behalf of all the organizers, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed guest, Dr. Akshay Kumar Mohanty, for sharing his knowledge with some interruptions, and also he is after struggling about qualitative and quantitative and mixed methods. He is explained wonderful and very excellent. Excellent, sir. Your session is very excellent and very informative and energetic presentation, sir. And thank you for sharing your valuable times within this occasion, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
And
ma'am.
you covering all the types of researches like onion, the layer by layer, each and everything you covered. The participants may benefited, sir. Really, the positivism, interpretism, pragmatism, all these things are these also known for. This is new to for me also, and also all audience and participants they benefited. I think so. So thank you, sir. Once again, thank you so much.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for your such inspiring words. And I don't have any words beyond that. And I look forward for the next session if you will conduct to engage the students to give the benefit.
Yes,
It
sir.
is-
So thank you so much, sir. I inspired you have different.
Thank you very much,
You came forward
Dr.
and you
Monty.
organized
Thank you.
suggestions.
Thank you, sir. It's
Yes,
my
sir. So,
pleasure
dear
to be
participants, we
here.
can see you tomorrow. Kindly.
Yeah, we will meet again tomorrow. We'll at another meet.